So today we're going to be unboxing the Intel Core i5-2500K. This is one of the best value processors out of their new Core i5 and Core i7 second generation series of chips. So the first thing I need to tell you guys about a Core i5-2500K versus an i7-2600K is that the difference is that the Core i5 does not support hyperthreading. So that means that you have 4 physical cores just like each other, and you also have hyperthreading on an i7 series processor. Now another thing that is, well, I guess you could call it missing on an i5-2500K is 2 megs of cache. So it only has 6 megs of cache versus 8 megs of cache, although this has not been demonstrated to make a very big difference in terms of performance. Now, this is meant more as a comparison between the 2500K and the 2600K than anything else. So I'm going to show you guys some of the other comparison points. So one of the other things is that this 2500K is clocked at 3.3 gigahertz versus the 2600K is clocked at 3.4 gigahertz. Now that probably doesn't make much of a difference because these are both, because of that K designation, fully unlocked and unleashed processors. That means that with good aftermarket cooling, whether it's air or liquid, you can take this processor well beyond the stock frequency and overclock the snot out of it, regardless pretty much of which motherboard you're using, because we are no longer dependent on the motherboard for much beyond really the power delivery to the CPU. You don't have to overclock the QPI or the front side bus or any of that stuff any longer. You just turn up the multiplier on these K-series processors. So they're definitely worth the extra couple bucks over the non-K chips. K-series processors also have slightly upgraded onboard graphics versus the non-K chips. So this uses the HD 3000 engine, whereas even an i7-2600 uses Intel HD graphics 2000. Mind you, if you're using a K-series chip and you're not using a Z68 motherboard, then you're not going to be able to use that unlocked multiplier to overclock and the onboard video at the same time, because H67 does not support overclocking and P67 does not support onboard video. So that's an interesting sort of situation there. Here's the included heatsink. It has pre-applied thermal compound as well as a copper slug for better contact and better mounting pressure. You can see it's slightly raised. With the CPU core itself, we've got an 80mm fan on the top that uses PWM 4-pin controls to do what it needs to do. Oh, whoops, I dropped that back in, but I actually can't do that. So I'm going to show you guys the Core i5-2500K. As I said, this is one of the better values because especially for gamers and overclockers, hyperthreading doesn't make that much of a difference since most games out there are not going to use more than 2 to 4 cores. So this guy, even though it doesn't have hyperthreading, performs extremely well when you turn up the frequency. It comes with a little case badge as well as a little warranty booklet with installation instructions in there too. So remember guys, this is LGA1155. That means you cannot, please, I can't stress this enough, you cannot install this in your old P55 motherboard on LGA1156. They are not compatible, even though they do look quite similar. You will need a P67 or an H67 motherboard in order to use this chip. Now we are still using dual channel DDR3, so you don't have to upgrade your whole platform, but you will need to upgrade your CPU and your motherboard if you want to take advantage of the Sandy Bridge, that's the code name, second generation Intel Core i5 and i7 processors. So thank you for checking out my unboxing of the 2500K. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings and reviews and other great tech videos.